William Morrow and HarperAudio present The Summer That Shaped Us, a novel by Lori Wilde, performed by Dawn Harvey. This book is dedicated to all the little girls who had mothers they couldn't trust. I see you, honor your strength, and send love for your healing. Chapter 1. Eloisa. A challenge is nothing more than opportunity in disguise. Eloisa Hobby. Each sunrise for the last 15 years since she created Hobby Island, Eloisa dined on a breakfast of fresh berries, homemade scones, clotted cream, and peppermint tea. She fed her sweet calico, Felina, donned a festive hat that often didn't match her outfit, detoured into the flower garden, and plucked a bright bloom and stuck it in her hatband. She would gather her needlework, mount her unicycle, and pedal through the cobblestone streets of Crafter's Corner, her knitting needles clacking. "Hello!" she called to everyone she met, and nodded as she purled and pedaled. "Good morning to you." "Good morning, hello," they'd echo, raising hands and sending sunny smiles in greeting. "Great day to be alive." She would give a merry laugh and cycle on, a tail of colorful yarn flying out behind her. But not today. Today was different. Today was troubled. In all honesty, today stunk like Auntie Dot's salves and poultices. Not that Dot's pungent home remedies weren't helpful, for they were, but the liniments and tinctures reeked to high heaven. On this sun-kissed dawn in early May, the island's sole security officer, Paul Chance, knocked on her front door while Eloisa was still in her terrycloth bathrobe. Felina weaved around her ankles, mewing, as Eloisa let Paul inside. "Good morning, Paul." Her smile was cheery as ever, but the look in his eyes and his unannounced arrival on her doorstep suggested this was not a happy visit. Come in, come in. Would you like some peppermint tea?" "No, ma'am." He doffed his sun-faded Tilly hat and held it clutched in one hand. Bits of dewy grass clung to the cuffs of his work pants, and garden shears protruded from his back pocket. "I have unpleasant news." Eloisa suspected as much. Paul was a striking man of 40, dark hair, straight white teeth, tall, strong, handsome. Julie, his late wife, had been Eloisa's ex-husband's niece, and Paul was like a nephew to her. She had built the resort for crafters around the same time Paul became a single father. Circumstances pushed him to leave his cybersecurity work for the Navy, and that's when Eloisa stepped in, offering him a job and a free, safe place to raise his little girl. It had been Paul's idea to pose as the island's gardener, a discreet way to observe the guests and circumvent problems before they started. Win-win for Eloisa to have a security officer and an accomplished gardener, wrapped up into one excellent employee. She couldn't run the place without him. Eloisa smoothed her bedhead hair, tightened the sash on her robe, and led the way into her tidy office. She eased down onto the vibrant green settee and patted the cushion beside her as the pastel fingers of dawn slipped across the room and Felina hopped into her lap. Paul settled in, resting his Tilly hat on his knee. He smelled of springtime dew, jacaranda blossoms, and cedar mulch, an earthy, steadfast scent. "What's brought you here on this fine day?" Eloisa met Paul's intense blue eyes. "The algorithm I created for your private quilters group." Paul's voice was even, but Eloisa heard tension running through it. "Flags unusual activity, things like rapid private message exchanges or repeated contact with multiple members." Eloisa nodded. Her understanding of technology was limited, but her grasp of human nature was profound. And what has your algorithm discovered?
Sample complete. Ready to continue?